Today I'm going to tell you a story, a Montessori story. It's the history of language and it's about letters. While we may not know when people first start talking, we have a pretty good idea of when people first start to write. This is my question for you. Why do you think we don't know when people start talking, but we know when they start to write? Think about it. Well, if you thought that we talk, but when we write, we leave evidences of our writing, that is correct. We cannot know when people start talking, but we can find things about writings, right? Alphabets, hieroglyphics, that let us know that the people start writing in some moment. People did not start by writing letters. As a matter of fact, the first writing was done in pictographs. If someone wanted to write about a boat, they will draw a boat, or perhaps a sun to show the passage of time. So a pictograph is like this. It's a boat. You want to talk about a boat? You draw a boat. Soon, what began to happen was that people wanted to write in phrases. So they began to combine individual pictures together to make these phrases. These are called Idiograms, and the ancient Egyptians used this idea when they were writing in hieroglyphics. I'm very sure that you already saw hieroglyphics. You have an example. Later, a group of people called Sumerians that were living in an area that was called the Fertile Crescent invented a type of writing called cuneiform. This type of writing gets its name from the wedge stylus of a stick that was used to press triangular shapes into soft clay. Then the clay was baked to harden and the writing could then be preserved. We have here an example of the cuneiform writing. There was a group of great sailors living in the area that is now known as Lebanon, Syria, and northern Israel along the Mediterranean Sea. They were called Phoenicians, and they were the ones that gave us the first alphabet. Their alphabet had only consonant letters, but because they traveled throughout the Mediterranean, their alphabet was spread to Greeks, North African, Etruscans, and Romans. Can you believe an alphabet with only consonant? Do you know what is a consonant? If you thought that a consonant is everything that is not a vowel, you were right. Venetians Alphabets. The Phoenicians originally came from a group of people that are termed Semitic, and generally the Semites write from the right to left. So, right to left. After many hundreds of years, the Greeks began to improve upon the Phoenician alphabet. They include vowels and they changed the direction of the writing from right to left to right, as we write right now, from left to right. And here is a sample of the Greek alphabet. The ancient Greeks shared their alphabet with the Etruscans, and the Etruscans shared it in turn with the Romans. The Romans made their own changes to some of the letters by combining some letters that made the same sounds. Eventually, this became the alphabet that we use today. So here is an example of the Latin alphabet, that is the Roman, and you can see the evolution of the writing. Now I have an example for you about hieroglyphics, how civilizations were writing in some moment. Here you can see 3 different civilizations with different symbols with the same meaning. We can talk about that. Now, a harder one is the one this is what we talk idiogram. So I want you to check it and think, what is the story behind this idiogram? Think about it. Take a minute, and I will tell you what is the story. I'm sure that your story is more creative than the real story that is behind this. So the story behind the idiogram is we have 5 boats of people from a tribe that were to hunt. The chief of that tribe was in this boat. You can see here his totem. The turtle is saying that they come back safe. And here we have the sky and 3 moons. That means that they were 3 days away from their village. 5 boats went to hunt with his chief, come back safe. The travel was 3 days.